Wake up, guys. Shoe0nHead uploaded with the War on Normal guys, which we'll be reacting to today. It's a grand total of a day old. And yes, so the War on Normal guys by Shoe0nHead. I don't know anything about this video so far. I don't know what's happening. We're just going into it and doing this blind.
Our conspiracy theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism. Wendigoon is very publicly friends with Turkey Tom. He is friends with Mutahar. He is publicly friends with Shoe0nHead, who is a conservative man.
I know who that one is. I know who that one is. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know any of those other names. I'm sorry.
Masquerading as a leftist.
A few days ago, I saw this video pop up in my YouTube feed. Bad conservative horror movies. And I was immediately intrigued. I love long video essays about stupid shit like this. But what I got instead was the worst attempt at a hit piece I have ever seen on YouTube ever. So sit down and get comfy, because it's time for an old-fashioned video response.
I don't know, there's something about the Hawaiian shirt that's really annoying. It's funny.
Now before we get into this
Cry
video,
bully?
I just want to thank today's sponsor.
Did I read that right? Crybully? What?
This video is sponsored by all of you who donate to me on patreon.com. Thank you all very much. I made you some cookies. These are just for the people who support me on Patreon. Only they get a cookie. Not you. I see you, freeloader. Anyway, I've been pretty busy lately doing personal life things, but when this went down, I was like, I can't not respond to this. But by the time I was done with the script, the man had already deleted the video after it was downvoted to hell. But even though the video is gone, I still want to respond to it for 3 reasons. 1, I am directly involved in this. 2, I'm tired of these type of people running their mouths. And 3, this topic is pretty timeless. And that topic is what
Isn't that like 80% of the internet though, running down our mouth?
Like to
running
call
my mouth.
The War on Normal guys. Last year I wrote a script for a video with this title, and it was about the YouTuber Wendigoon being cancelled on Twitter. For those of you who don't know, Wendigoon is a popular YouTuber who makes video about true
Never heard that name, but that face looks familiar, but I could be crazy.
crime, horror, and cryptids. And no, despite popular belief, Wendigoon has nothing to do with gooning. Wendigoon is what most
Disappointing.
YouTubers who don't make political videos should be. His channel is completely apolitical. I don't like clicking a video about iCarly and then having to listen to you about how much you hate Trump, or clicking a video about Fallout and hearing you go off about how Joe Biden sucks. I don't care. If I wanted to hear milquetoast political opinions, I would watch my own videos. But no, despite being non-political, Wendigoon is a great channel. He has a good community, he's very positive, he's a Sunday school teacher, he has a beautiful wife, he's friendly, funny, and kind. Which of course makes him an enemy to the most annoying people on earth. Month after month after month, I would see threads on Twitter and on Reddit.
I personally do think, unless it's like your job to talk about something, like you don't have to bring up your politics. A lot of people try and force people to, but I don't have to. Like, unless it relates to the point, I won't bring it up that much. My own stuff, but to be fair, I don't really do much political things, so I think if any other content, you should just keep it mostly out of it, like, because it's not relevant, and it's completely fine to want to keep that private.
Reddit about how what a terrible person Wendigoon was. But when I would go searching for reasons why, there was really nothing besides vibes. I simply do not like Wendigoon.
There is something like really funny when you find a YouTuber everyone hates, and you try and like, oh, some random people hate, and you go, why do they hate? Is there a reason? It's just usually just like, gotta hate that bitch, and that's it.
He has bad vibes coming off him like stinky lines. The vibes on this guy have never been right. I live in the Bible Belt. He has the vibes of the kids who would have been comfortable saying racist and homophobic slurs and bullied me in grade school. He always gave me weird vibes. Deeply uncomfortable vibes from this guy. I initially unfollowed him because I started getting weird vibes from him. There are evil energies surrounding this man. Wait, what'd he do? He used to be a youth pastor. Some people got weird vibes, and that's fair. It's rare to see a youth pastor with good vibes. What did Wendigoon do? Honestly, a lot of it is just the vibes. I needed more.
Well, to be fair, like, if you watch a YouTuber, part of why you watch it is because you like the vibe, you like the stuff. So you don't have to watch them, but I don't think because you don't like the vibe, you should pass around that they're assholes or something. You just don't watch them. I think it's easy.
Needed to hear some real reasons why people disliked this guy. I needed real arguments. I needed a living soy jack meme with a pedo mustache and bisexual lighting to string up and beat like a piñata. Enter in praise of shadows, aka Zane, A leftist video essayist straight out of the aging millennial hipster factory. Seriously, why do they all look like this? What genre?
Who's all? I've never seen this combo. How do people dress in other countries? But like, I was gonna say, this is a very odd combination I've never seen before. It's some sort of jacket with the tassel-y things with a cap. I don't know. Maybe Australian guys just dress very plainly. Like 80% are just either jeans, shorts, and a t-shirt, and that's it.
Of man is this? The mustache, the hair, the clothing, post-ironic neo-redneck? You know how some people talk about how women's taste in men gets all weird and f***ed up when they're on birth control? These are the men. I'm gonna call them birth control hot. I'm in no position to talk.
Birth control hot? What the fuck? Oh my god, I swear that one piece of information of people, like, who you're attracted to changes on birth control has changed into, they only like beta males on birth control. Oh my god.
About style.
No, how did it turn into just a way to be mean to guys?
I still do my makeup like it's 2009. Zane is a horror movie video essayist who, for some reason, decided to randomly go out.
But to be fair, like, I do think this outfit is kind of hideous, but what can I say? I don't care. I just wear sundresses all year, so.
After Wendigoon and several other popular YouTubers and myself. His video starts off with him complaining that he got a lot of hate for his take about the movie Hills Have Eyes.
The hill people can be representative of anything that you want them to be, really. They can be Native Americans, and the hills themselves can be allegorical of them being forced back onto reservations.
You saw a bunch of cannibal mutants and thought of Native Americans? Anyway, he goes on to talk about how people were—
That is a yikes. I hate when people get way too pretentious in their interpretations of things, because the whole point, if it has vague interpretations, is that it's a vague entity that automatically doesn't connect to anything. But it just, like, it doesn't have to be. You can go a little deep, but when you stretch it that far, it's so annoying.
Were misrepresenting him and leaving rude comments.
The cruel and untrue things that you say about another person do in fact have direct impacts on them and the way that people culturally see them. Are these your own genuine original thoughts and criticisms that you have based on my actual words and things that I have done, or that maybe you haven't thought critically about what you were reading online, about other people?
And about how after this video, apparently a lot of his subscribers stopped watching him, and now he's poor and can't afford rent.
There was a month last year where I only made $500 in ad revenue. I can't live off that.
Which, if you're ever at this point, you need to get a job, or at least a side job. That's capitalism meritocracy. Either make better content, or get a job. Hey, maybe—
That is true. You have to be good at your job, especially seeing a lot of content creating, freelance, all that is completely objective based. It's like sales. What you get is what you put in, or the content you put out doing well. It's why you get told to have so many different avenues of revenue. I'm lucky. I enjoy a lot of different things. I definitely don't make enough to completely support myself, so I do other work, but you can't just rely on one thing. So that's why I dabble in lots of different things. Because all my work is merit-based, pretty much, and you can't just rely on your YouTube followers to pay for everything. It's ridiculous.
maybe if we get communism, you can be the community YouTuber. No, I'm just kidding. Your ass is going to the mines! Then finally, an hour into the video, he gets to the topic, conservative horror movies. But then suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, it was like he accidentally uploaded a schizophrenic meltdown.
If you're not aware, Wendigoon is a horror conspiracy theorist.
I do find it funny that so many YouTubers have breakdowns like live on their channel.
YouTuber with several million subscribers, that, as you will hopefully come to see, should not be seen as the wholesome, southern-friendly dad persona that he has publicly constructed around himself in the past several years. And that, like many people who talk about being Christians as much as he does, has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism.
Ooh, this sounds—
Talks about being Christian. I don't know, unless he's pushing it on someone or like doing something hateful, he can talk about being Christian all he wants. Like, I find that very odd. Like, I think as long as it's your own belief and you don't like be weird about it, why can't he mention that he's Christian? People can mention anything about themselves as long as they're not like being a hypocrite about it. Who gives a fuck?
It's pretty bad. He's not the heckin' wholesome YouTube dad we all thought. What could he have possibly done?
There are many things that are red flags that we could talk about, from the bizarre gun ownership.
Yikes! An American man owns guns? Not very—
Say that. An American likes guns? No! I don't know. Isn't there a more amazing duo? Honestly, that's true love right there. Can an American really do anything without their BFF, the gun? But I don't know why that's shocking. Like, Americans use guns a lot, even recreationally. It's like, it's not that cray-cray.
Very heckin' wholesome Wendigoon. He goes on to talk about how Wendigoon is rich, and therefore he doesn't respect Wendigoon's opinion on media.
He became exceptionally wealthy by the time that he was 19 or 20. I have no need or desire.
Okay, delete how. How did he become exceptionally wealthy? We must know.
To hear 5 hours of opinions on Blood Meridian from a 21-year-old millionaire.
Like, what exactly is the correct amount of money to have where your opinions still matter? Like, if you suddenly got a bunch of video views and a bunch of patrons like you want, would we be justified in dismissing your opinion?
Listen to the poors. Can't listen to the rich people. Who can we listen to?
On movies? This honestly just feels like a conservative's idea of what a leftist is. Like, it's not just about hating people for having money. Like, what is Wendigoon's position of power in relation to the means of production? Does he own a business? Does he have employees he's mistreating? Not that I know of, he's just a guy who makes YouTube videos. Like you. Only difference is, he's good at it and makes money, and you're not, and you don't. Okay, for real though, there's gotta be more, right? What crimes has Wendigoon committed? Well, to start, he committed the crime of having friends.
Wendigoon is very publicly friends with Turkey Tom. They have been seen together on multiple occasions, and I've seen online mentions that Tom was either at his wedding or at the very least was invited.
They have been seen together. I have seen online mentions that he was at his
That is nitpicky as fuck.
wedding. He's saying this shit like Turkey Tom is wanted for murder, and not like he just said some slurs on Discord when he was a teenager. Does this guy vet like every single person he's
Teenagers are assholes? Who would have knew? This is also blowing my mind.
ever been friends with or spoken to? Hey, before you enter my house, I'm gonna have to go through your Discord history from 7 years ago. I was gonna say no, but I can see this guy doing that.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Donut Operator, and even retweeted a photograph of the two of them hugging. Donut Operator is a gun-crazed, very far-right YouTuber with 4 million subscribers. His content is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs propaganda. For example, one of his videos is titled, "Predator Takes Shotgun to the Face."
I love the example he used is a literal pedophile being killed. He's very pro-death for people who don't share his beliefs. Take, for example, this pedophile. Is that what you mean by people who don't share his...
Yeah, that is a yikes of an example. Like, obviously, I don't like extreme opinions usually, but, like, it's up to him who he's friends with, Jesus, and who you interact with or in your family doesn't automatically spell out who you are as a person. Next thing, but he couldn't find a better example. Jeez, it's either lazy or that's the only one.
beliefs? Out of all the videos, why that one? You're not gonna find many people who are gonna be like, oh no, the poor child molester. Well, maybe you will, but most people won't. Also, he's trying to act like Donut Operator is just a complete simp for the police, and he's really not. Even in the screenshot you show in the background, there's...
Yeah, that's the thing, like, not many people would agree, like, oh no, poor them. It's like, uh-oh. It's like, even, like, very progressive people are like, nah, fuck that guy, fuck that pedo.
There's like 3 whole
I am
videos
one of those people like, fuck that pedo. Which weirdly, I get told is very harsh. Some people are like, you have to forgive everyone, and I say, fuck that.
where he's clearly being critical of the police.
For someone who supposedly is so very anti-government, Wendigoon seems very comfortable with a man who makes his living worshipping violence committed by the state. And the only thing that one could reasonably gather from this picture of them hugging is that he too is a fascist bootlicker himself.
Okay, I just don't understand this whole extremeness, because Australians don't particularly like the government. I think the government is okay. Could be better. Should always be strived to do better. But I don't understand the extreme stances I hear a lot online where you to be anti-government, you must hate everything about the government and the government like so. To be anti-police, you have to be like, I hate everything about the police and the police should not exist. It's like, that's so stupid because those things exist for a reason. They should just be run better. I don't know. I just find the extreme opinions like, well, if you don't 100% agree with me, you're a bootlicker, bitch. It's just so weird.
Actually, we can't reasonably gather anything because you haven't given us anything to gather. You label this guy very far right, and he might be very far right, but you haven't shown anything very far right.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna need some fucking examples when you, like, Also, what the fuck does far right mean? Can people stop talking like they're talking to every American that knows the lingo? What does it even mean? Like, other countries, like, what is it, conservative and progressive? Isn't that what left and right were supposed to be? Not some political alignment? It's confusing if you're from a different country. You can't just automatically go, yeah, this is far right. It's like, that could mean so many different things in different countries.
Take a step back and evaluate the bare basics of what you just showed us. Wendigoon hugging someone who thinks it's okay when a pedophile dies. Okay, but let's be fair. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's something worse. Let's see.
He is friends with Brandon Buckingham, a gun YouTuber who has been accused of threatening rape.
Okay, so first of all, let's rewind. This guy is not a gun tuber. This just proved this man did absolutely no research. I'm talking like 2 seconds going to this guy's channel amount of research. And for those who are unaware, that rape thing is a complete lie. It is a complete lie made up by, sit down, Sneeko. Sneeko made that up, and Sneeko had to apologize and admit it was a lie because it was literal slander. I just love how in his little breadtube tryout video, he uses Sneeko as a fucking source. I mean, it's not like his other sources are any better. His other sources being
Big yikes.
Reddit. He got like 90% of this information from a thread about Wendigoon in a drama subreddit called R YouTube Drama. This man like borderline plagiarized Reddit comments. Source, pee-pee-poo-poo-123 and Sneeko. Nice job on the research, you fucking hack. Also, I love the screenshot he's using. This you, bro. This you showing sympathy to someone whose grandfather is dying.
He has collaborated with Nick Crowley.
That's the thing. Unless you have recorded evidence when you report things, like even with VTuber dumb stuff that I talk about on my main channel, you go allegedly, unless it's 100% allegedly. And the thing is, he's making like a SmackDown piece when this is like very hearsay. Isn't a good look. Like, I know so many people feel like I have to 100% back up what I'm saying. Like, I believe. No, you don't. You just have to. You can just convey information and go allegedly or what people say. You don't have to, like, defend it with your whole chest.
Makes money through the most morbid and shameful true crime content of showcasing the last minutes of people before they are suddenly and unexpectedly killed.
So I don't know much about this guy, but it seems like your issue with him is that he makes true crime content. I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of true crime content, but it's extremely popular on YouTube.
Crowley is similar to Wendigoon, in that on the surface...
Also, true crime documentaries have been popular for literally decades. It's like a very popular documentary section. Like, that's why it is so popular.
They seem fairly edgy, but clean enough. But then you notice that he follows less than 200 people on Twitter, and among them are the same circle with names like Wendigoon, Plagued Moth, Turkey Tom, Mr. Ballin, and Donut Operator.
On the surface, they look clean enough to pass the vibe check, but then you look closer and notice he follows people who don't.
It's just a weird thing. He only follows 200 people. Okay. I don't know.
Pass the vibe check.
These people hate the police, and yet they're always like, sir, I'm gonna have to take a look at that Twitter follow list. Just absolute cop behavior. ACAB includes the follow police.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Brandon Herrera, who has made jokes that implied that he was sympathetic.
I watched that guy's videos. Let's see. Oh, is he a senator? No, not a senator. Governor? Something. I don't know, American system. He's something.
Shooters who killed leftists. I've also seen people insinuate that Herrera was with Wendigoon in the days of being part of the Boogaloo movement, but I cannot find substantial proof on if this is true or not. But I've seen several comments saying this, so online it is at least culturally believed to be true.
Hey guys, I heard Praise of Shadows a dog. No, I don't have any proof, but it's culturally believed to be true.
He is friends with
He could have made... I feel like it was a stretch even bringing it up if it's only in comments. But then to say it's culturally believed to be true, it's like, oh my god, now you're just trying to allude that it's true with no facts. But I don't know what the Boogaloo thing is.
Says content creator.
Oompaville! What the hell did Oompaville do? He's not even political whatsoever. I guess that's the problem, isn't it? But no, you're a bad person if you shot a gun even once. This is America. That's like saying you're a bad person if you ate a cheeseburger. His other example of Oompaville being bad is making videos about Nikocado avocado, as if anyone and their mother has not made a Nikocado avocado video. This is ridiculous. There has to be more.
True enough.
He is
true
friends
enough.
with Mutahar.
Mutahar?
Like, I've seen one of his videos.
Mutahar? Really? If someone can't be friends with Mutahar, they can't be friends with anyone. That dude is like so not problematic.
And has recently showcased a great deal of transphobia in his most recent video.
Okay, nothing in Mutahar's video was transphobic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's not problematic. Wait, isn't he the guy who was just in a bunch of drama That was so stupid somehow. I could not follow that to save my life, honestly. I tried one video and it broke my last good brain cell.
I don't even know why I have to entertain this. Simply talking about a trans person isn't transphobia, and I wish that we could, like, move past this and just treat trans people like human beings and not like these, like, delicate little angels that we need to, like, step on eggshells around. It's really f***ing weird.
Who argued against Andrew Tate being deplatformed from social media websites.
He believes in the concept of free speech for everyone. Wow. Just like the Nazis.
Okay, personally, I don't think Andrew Tate, if he breaks the rules, he can be demonetized. I think that's the right action. But to be fair, I feel like the problem of Andrew Tate is very complicated because his audience was high amounts of children, and a lot of things crack down heavily when the audience is skewing so hard to young people. But to be fair, I think the platforms are within their right to demonetize, but I think like that's a whole problem, like a whole different problem. Mainly because, like, I guess different countries have different words of freedom of speech, because if you're saying information that isn't, to be incorrect or is shown to be incorrect, it can get you in trouble, especially in Australia. So I don't know, but yeah, I feel like that's a back and forwards, but I think anyone could be demonetized if they're breaking the rules, but I do think being clear cut with the rules would be nice.
This is what you're using to paint Mudahar as a bad person in order to paint Wendigoon as a bad person. You're running out of paint, bro.
Wendigoon is publicly connected to the internet.
Again, it's just his opinion. It's not like he's pushing goddamn cars. It's not like he's pushing like anything hard. It's his opinion. That's fine. And it doesn't mean he agrees with what Andrew Tate says.
Historian, and has even appeared in his videos. The internet historian publicly said that his birthday was April 20th. It is not, and has only said that as a joke because that is Hitler's birthday.
Ah, yes.
I was thinking that was a meme, like he was gonna meme into that. Like, is this not a joke? Like, it's what?
April 20th, Hitler's birthday. There are no other jokes surrounding the number 420. It's a weed joke. It's like making a joke about the number 69.
Yeah, unless he says it's that. There's so many other jokes. Oh my god, that's such a fucking stretch.
This is either extremely dishonest manipulation, saying April 20th instead of the number 420 so people wouldn't notice, or you are profoundly mentally retarded, sir. Who the is a joke?
It is funny, but in Oz that joke doesn't work because our dates are 24, so yeah.
About 420 and automatically thinks Hitler. I'll tell you who. Somebody with preconceived notions about others. Everyone is already a bigot, so everything they say is bigoted, instead of the other way around. Looking at bigotry and coming to—
My question is, how the fuck does everyone know when Hitler's birthday is? I was like waiting for a meme or a joke or something in there, because I had no idea. How does everyone know this crap?
conclusion that that person's a bigot. No, you have this insane hater tunnel vision, which is why you're coming to insane conclusions like this.
We could talk about the time that Nick Spheres did a video about the disturbing movie Iceberg, who is a great horror trans creator, and in the comments of her video, he said, "We will be watching your career with great interest," which is just kinda gross.
That is a line from Star Wars.
I was gonna say, kinda gross. How?
You really saw him being friendly with a trans person, the trans person being friendly back, and came to the conclusion that this was transphobia? For f***'s sake, man, she ooh-wooed at him. Have you ever sat back and thought, hey, maybe if I have to squint my eyes and tilt my head and glue my balls to my butthole in order to paint these people as Nazis, maybe they're not Nazis?
He has interacted positively with—
I just really hate when someone's like, my interpretation of what they said means they were trying to do this. That's not how words work. That's not how it works. But that's not even a stretch. It's just not even there. It's a quote from a movie, and bigger creators comment on a lot of little creators' things to show support, you know, to not like come off like they're gatekeeping assholes or some shit sometimes. So like, why is that weird? I don't know why.
Garant Thumb, who has said, "The traditional family should be encouraged and strengthened. I see little to no support from the government or big media."
Traditional families? Not traditional families!
Okay. That's the thing that, that's funny about, yeah, the trigger word, traditional families. I'm personally, you could choose whatever kind of family you want. That's up to you. But I do agree with the stance there that everyone knows that even if you want kids, the government doesn't really support you in wanting to have kids. Nothing is set up because they don't care half the time. They just want you to pump out kids, and they don't care about your standard of life. That's not like news. That's pretty common in a lot of countries, and it's a huge talking point. But the word traditional family is gone. I could tell as soon as I said it would get them in trouble.
This is how you know this video was made for one type of person and that type of person only. Because what the are we supposed to be mad at that?
For someone who is supposedly anti-government, he sure does seem to have a lot of wealthy white friends who actively work to uphold the values of the American empire.
For someone who hates the government so much, they sure have a lot of wealthy white friends who hold up the American empire. What the are you saying? It's like lefty Mad Libs. He's just chucking a bunch of buzzwords at the wall and seeing what sticks.
The American Empire. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, but it's a bit weird, everything he's saying, honestly.
Capitalism, cops, white, American empire. Again, he sounds like a conservative's idea of what a lefty would sound like. He sounds like a Daily Wire sketch character. He goes on to talk about
I can't just find if he's being serious or if he's parodying something, because this is like what you would expect from an extreme point, just taking little things, because there's plenty of people extreme on either side you can honestly probably point out to be bad, because that's how extremes works. But he's like literally strawmanning so little that it's hard to take him seriously.
Twitter accounts Wendigoon follows and how some of those accounts have liked problematic tweets. Now, see, I always thought fascism was hyper-nationalistic authoritarianism, but apparently it's actually when you follow people on Twitter that Walmart Noah Samson doesn't like.
Honestly, if you're going through someone's likes or proof they're a bad person, you're shifting through trash to just try and find the tiniest little thing, the tiniest little, like, crap. Because, like, you don't have any other information, so you're going through something to nitpick. There we go, I got there.
He has publicly interacted in a friendly way with the account Rock Solid on multiple occasions.
Responding to someone on Twitter makes you best friends with that person. Hey, by the way, this you being friendly with YouTubers.
Oh, gasp.
Sophie from Mars, who is allegedly an abuser. Is that you, bro? Because according to your own logic, not mine, that makes you and her friends, which makes you a bad person. And personally, I'd rather be friends with people who make jokes on the internet than someone who allegedly puts cigarettes out on their girlfriend's skin. But honestly, I wouldn't hold this against him. How was he supposed
Frickin' yikes.
to know? You throw a dart into a crowd of these people and you're bound to hit a sex pest.
He is publicly friends with Shoe0nHead, who is a conservative masquerading as a leftist, who has built a career off of lazy anti-woke content, complaining about SJWs, who says stuff like, Karl Marx rising from the grave finding out his movement has been taken over by fat, ugly, mentally ill losers.
I mean... What's crazy is I could have given you like 20 examples of way worse shit I've said over the years, but instead you choose a random joke I made on Twitter. You just went to my Twitter and found like one of the last tweets I made. This you, Wendigoon? This you, bro? Congratulating someone on their wedding day? A conservative
Yeah, I don't think bullying is right.
masquerading as a leftist is so funny too, because like, what would be the point of that? Am I waiting for like a Soros check? It would be way more lucrative as a woman on the internet to just be a conservative commentator instead of pissing off all sides like I do. Also, the term publicly friends with is so funny. He keeps saying it, and like personally, it's hilarious to me because I have to be privately friends with several public figures because they are prisoners to their own audience, because their own audiences are full of people like this guy. So I have a lot of respect for people like Wendigoon who will just talk to anyone they want to and aren't scared of these crybullies. Also, I think it's important to say Wendigoon and I talk on Twitter sometimes, but we're not like best friends. I've never even met him in real life. But because he has the audacity to tweet at me, now all my opinions are his. And as for the lazy accusation, you got me. Honestly,
yeah, see, that's kind of thing, like, I find stupid. Like, most people, most YouTubers and content, they don't know the people they're coming on. They don't know their life story. Especially, like, their fans do. So if someone's bad and you're like, they're bad, you like their stuff, so they're bad. It's like, I don't know this person. I don't know shit about them. But, yeah, and the lazy thing, I don't know, I guess. It's like, she uploads once every 2 months. But that's up to her, isn't it? It's her YouTube channel. It's up to her how much she works, isn't it? That's the point. Her fans are fine, so why not? But I can't say anything. I'm on a React channel, so
This all would have bothered me way more like a few years ago, but I'm so over it now. Go ahead and call me what you like. I take solace in the fact that every woke idiot that comes at me eventually gets their own ass cancelled into the shadow realm, and yet I remain problematic and a moron forever. And I personally can't wait until the inevitable day an army of skeletons comes marching out of your closet. What does bother me, however, is linking Wendigoon to me in order to smear him. My friends and I aren't a hive mind. And that might be easy for most people to understand, but not for these people. People like this guy, they don't have friends. They have enemies and they have temporary allies. They have people they hate and people they will eventually throw under the bus the second that person has a problematic tweet one day.
He has said many times publicly that he lives in East Tennessee. It is about as white as you could possibly get. Deep Appalachia is very white country. And for
I don't know where this is going, but the idea of where you live says
the most part
something about
is
you.
exceptionally racist. Genuinely in this part of the country, you have to assume that any white person you meet is racist unless they show you otherwise.
Holy shit. All white people from Appalachia are racist until proven otherwise. He's implying Wendigoon is low-key racist because of where he's from. He literally has no proof otherwise. No videos, no screen caps, nothing that shows Wendigoon being racist. But you
Try to be so progressive, you end up going all the way around to racist. I just hate when this happens on the internet when someone's like, it's like, dude, I think you've gone too far. I think you've gone too far. You're back 80 years back in society.
see, he has to be. So because he's from...
Because, like, that's the thing. Trying to demigrate someone by their area that they live is kind of weird. It's kind of weird in general. Like, you're doing exactly the opposite of what you want because you're just being prejudiced against someone based on things they can't control, mostly.
Tennessee, he secretly must be. Making a broad negative generalization about somebody based on their race, but wokely, so it's okay. Appalachia is one of the poorest areas in the country. And aren't you a poor motherfucker too? I know you don't want to hear it, but the working class revolution is not just going to be full of the purple-haired Starbucks baristas. It's also going to be Billy Bob the truck driver from Tennessee. And you have more in common with those guys than you do the rich bread tubers that you're trying to suck the farts out of currently. So why don't you drop the smug liberal attitude and show some class solidarity, comrade?
Then, of course, there is his username. To the Algonquin people, the Wendigo is...
You kind of find it funny that in America, it seems if you live anywhere except, like, the rich parts, so that you're, like, a weirdo. But why wouldn't they live in more affordable areas? Why does everyone has to hit the major cities? That's, like, paying more for nothing that you want.
Is a negative spiritual symbol. He has attempted to deflect from criticism over the use of the name by saying that his grandfather was Native American. But I personally have to look at it from the hypothetical perspective, where, say I had a black or mixed grandfather in this situation, and black people were telling me that I was doing something that was racist or offensive to them. I would then listen to what they were saying instead of claiming that I had the right to do it because I had some melanin in me. Especially if I were more or less raised within a primarily white cultural area like the Appalachian Mountains are. And also on top of that, just, frequently associated myself with white supremacists.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Where was the white supremacy? You spent like 10 minutes smearing a bunch of people Wendigoon talks to, but not once did you show any white supremacy. Again, just haphazardly throwing around lefty buzzwords. White supremacy!
We could talk...
I swear, most buzzwords, like, completely lose their meaning. Woke, white supremacist, Nazis, like, on the internet, they mean nothing because people just use it for frickin' everything. The English language is dying.
About his past and supposedly being a founding member in an online conspiracy theory group that, according to him, snowballed out of control into being a white supremacist neo-Nazi organization called the Boogaloo Boys. In 2020, they killed several police officers in a drive-by shooting in Oakland, hoping that black people would be blamed for the violence, in an attempt to create racial tension.
So basically, Wendigoon was part of a libertarian group that eventually became more extreme and radical over time, and he no longer agreed with the goals, so he left it and he disavowed it. Okay. Isn't that what you want? For him to own up to his mistakes and take accountability? You'd have a point if he was still involved in this group, or even if he was part of the group while the group was doing all these terrible things, but he wasn't. It's so funny he had to add this completely made-up factoid that the Boogaloos killed cops in order to blame it on black people, but I couldn't find that literally anywhere. In fact, I found the exact opposite. The Boogaloo Boys made sure people knew it was done by them. And it wasn't to spark a race war, it was to spark more anti-government sentiment. The Boogaloo Boys are a radical libertarian group. They hate cops. So I think this guy made
America's crazy. What the hell is that? Radical groups, libertarian groups. What is this? Wait, America, you have these? What the hell? I'm so confused.
made up this thing about them wanting to blame black people, so people in his audience wouldn't think the Boogaloo Boys were cool. Yeah, they killed cops, but not in the based cool way we want to kill cops. This is probably the most damning evidence they have against Wendigoon, even though he's not involved in this group anymore, but they still f***ed it up. Zayn was liking tweets from people, glazing him, telling him what an amazing job he was doing for finally going after Wendigoon, our glorious Reddit white knight, basking in the attention and glory of finally slaying the bad vibes dragon. All while Wendigoon left a nice comment on the guy's video, telling people not to be mean to this guy. Well, that sign won't stop me because I can't read. One comment I found on this guy's video was like, loving the Wendigoon fanboys trying to deny that he's conservative. He'll get away with it, because he's popular though. He'll get away with it. Get away with what? The crime of being popular online while not agreeing with you politically? Is that what this expose is about? Wendigoon exposed, not a communist. Nobody gives a shit.
So what if he's a conservative? Is that a problem? Which the answer to that is yes. But the reason that I care is because this does not belong in horror, or anywhere. I care deeply about horror, and everything that he does has demonstrated so far in his career that he should not be welcomed in our spaces, or even, just in public in general.
Okay, I don't know, I don't understand, if he's not putting his views onto other people, he's not inserting into his work, it doesn't matter, and it's only really prominent to the people supporting him, and the only thing to really be done is if they want to support him or they don't. That's the end. That's why you don't need to put that's why it's best just to give information, not make up your own bullshit in these situations. The whole, in public in general, is so a reach, because there's no way, unless you sat down and talked to someone, you know exactly the level of what they want, even if you think they're conservative because they say one thing like traditional or something like that you don't know what they actually believe unless you talk to them.
What? Okay. First of all, I assure you nobody wants to be in your space, bro. Imagine the smell. But second of all, in public, Wendigoon should not be allowed in public spaces. Wendigoon should not be allowed to exist in society because he is Twitter friends with people this guy
In society, sorry.
disagrees with on Twitter.
Should not be accepted within society at all. They should not be celebrated. They should be treated for what they are. Because remember, kids, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Well, you've told us you're a lying, manipulative hack, and I believe you. But Wendigoon's actions, words, and even comments he left on your video tell us he's a good person. You're so...
That's the thing, I find the, exterminate both sides idea very odd. Because I feel like the best decisions come from clear debate. So you know where is the true middle ground? Where is the right decision? Because if you are completely unopposed, that's when you get some fucky, no other things, no other words for it, fucky outcomes.
Lost in the sauce, you don't even realize all you did to the average viewer was make this guy seem like a kind person who learns and grows from his mistakes. These flimsy accusations and guilt by associations may work for the NPCs in your audience who already hated Wendigoon based on vibes, but you need to bring more to the table than unsourced Reddit comments. If you're trying to convince the average person who isn't terminally online that this guy deserves to be ostracized from society. The fact is, most people have friends they don't politically agree with. Most people make edgy jokes. Many people are into guns. Many support the police. And most enjoy when pedophiles die. These things you listed as crimes Wendigoon's friends have done in order to smear Wendigoon do not make them fascists or Nazis. They make them normal people. At the end of the day, this was just a witch hunt against a normal guy. But to these people, that is the enemy. The normal guy. They can dress it up however they want, but at the end of the day, that's what this video was. An attack on normal guys. And it's always been a war on normal guys. But hey, I'm glad you deleted the video. Hopefully you learned from this, but according to your Discord messages, you haven't. Anyway, that was that video. I just really wanted to stick up for someone who absolutely did not deserve
I don't know, honestly, from the stuff I learned nothing about him, mostly. Other than he likes guns, which is normal, which might be the American normal. In other countries, that's not the average, but that's the thing. I don't know America. But, like, yeah, he did nothing really egregious in there. It seems a stretch. I might go and watch the video and see it. But, wait, no, they took it down, didn't they? Crap, I can't even watch it. Maybe someone re-uploaded it. Fingers crossed. So, but, I don't know. It seems like such a stretch. I don't know why I completely forgot they took it down. Cry.
Thank you again to everyone who
private
donates
did
to
it?
me on Patreon. You help so much. And I will see you all real soon with a new video. Bye!
That's the biggest lie in this video. I'll see her in 2 months. But, you guys, that's the end of the video. If you'd like to like and subscribe or join the member gang or the Patreon gang or in the Discord down below, that's cool too. And I will catch you next time. And don't forget to check out the original. And bye-bye, guys.